Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, likes, comments, subscriptions, other comments, and stuff like that are always welcomed as it helps out with the channel's algorithm. As always, a very big thank you to everyone who comments every single day for the algo. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you not looking at the screen, I come bearing good news. It says Bitcoin's price suddenly soars to nearly 24,000 US dollars. Is $28,000 likely? Yes, we have entered what is appearing to be, at least at the moment, a very bullish sentiment that is flowing through the air. We are now having indications, and have had for some days now, that apparently, allegedly, maybe $17,000, $18,000 per Bitcoin was the bottom, was the low, and therefore we have bounced off of that region because no one is willing to sell at that price. It says Bitcoin rebounds strongly from 21,000, reclaims 23,000 US dollars. All the coins are currently rallying right now. The entire market is in green. There may be one or two odd, weird coins somewhere around there, but I haven't seen them. It says Bitcoin holds 5-week high as traders suggest a parabolic bear trend is over. We've had news for a couple of months now that a number of people, especially analysts as well, were quite surprised or confused as to why we were dropping in price. I am not an analyst, and I was more confused than anyone else out there, especially as we keep getting terrible economic news, and therefore Bitcoin should be reacting positively. However, yes, at the moment, prices are up. We were in, maybe I even have it somewhere around here as well. I'm not really sure if I have one of the actual tabs. We have apparently been in one of the longest fear cycles ever. It didn't quite feel like it, but apparently when you look at actual metrics of what's happening in the market, what people are doing, what their general sentiment is on social media, this has, or was, is not sure, apparently has been one of the most fearful times in the entirety of Bitcoin's existence, as far as if Bitcoin could drop lower. Or remember all the people screaming that Bitcoin was going to go to $12,000 and now you don't hear from them anymore? It's happened every single time. It says Cardano breaks into rally. IOHK drops scalability research on Cardano. I don't think there was anything significant here. They talked about how much money has been locked into the network. It says Cardano witnessed inflows of over $21 million over the past week, and the total value locked has climbed to $268 million. This is always a very good indicator as to what the future price of a coin is going to be. If more people are locking away their coins, there's less coins to go around. People want the coins price ends up going up because there's less on the market, because more people have locked it inside of the actual protocol. And this is another metric that's not as strong yet for Ethereum, as far as people locking up value into the actual network to get the pre-rewards before the actual merge date stuff actually ends up happening. And then it's expected that more people will actually do it once it's out of soft beta, if you will. 7 years of waiting for it, and once it's actually available to everyone on cryptocurrency exchanges, we'll see that number basically skyrocket. So yeah, also talking about the Vasil upgrade as well. I don't think we have a date for it yet. I believe the date was the end of June, and then we got something around the middle of July. No date anywhere floating around, but the optimism is that this is going to be some mega, super, ultra phantasmatic upgrade, and therefore Cardano's price is going to start moving higher. Those numbers still floating around of a $3, $5, $15 Cardano during the next rally. So I was going to say don't hold your breath, but you're going to do what you want to do. This one says FOMO, it definitely kicks in, not clicks in. FOMO kicks in as Bitcoin jumps above the 200 WMA. US stocks recover. Yes. For those of you who are trying to be surprised, don't be. It says, meanwhile, the U.S. stock market rallied after strong corporate earnings and market bottom sentiments. The Dow increased more than 750 points, the Nasdaq rose by 3%, and the S&P 500 by 2.76 percentile points. The broader recovery in the crypto market as well as the global stock markets, especially the U.S. equity markets, has kicked in FOMO among investors. The word FOMO is actually trending on Google and social media platforms, making investors move more into the markets. So apparently what happened was, as far as I can tell, the general idea is that the Federal Reserve is going to be raising interest rates. No one knows exactly how much they're going to be raising, but the general idea, especially if you looked at any type of financial news, was that they were going to be raising it by 1 percentage point, which is usually an indicator that something is very wrong. They're trying to cool off the market. So we typically hear of a 1/4 of a point, 0.25%, maybe 1/2 of a percent, maybe even a 3/4 of a percent. The news floating around for about 7 days was that they were going to raise it by 1%. The Federal Reserve came out openly and said, no, we are not doing an entire percentage point. Everyone was like, yay, because if they do an entire percentage point or more, it means that they're trying to cool off inflation so much. Usually the idea is you want to actually use you want to have the interest rate near or above where inflation actually is. But in this case, they cannot raise the interest rate to 9% because the economy would completely crumble into itself. So this is the beginning of the first instances where we are getting indications that the Fed might not be as hawkish as they previously said that they were, and that inflation in their eyes may be, and I'm using the term under control very loosely here. The Fed has only so much that they can do, and they have not done it over the last 15 years, so they are not going to do any more. And the current situation is that the market is, I can't use either word. It likes the free money that's been printed over the last 15 or so years, and therefore they're going to have to turn back on the money printer at some point. The markets cannot go down forever because governments and banks and rich people won't let them. So this is kind of the first indication that, hey, the money printer might be turned back on even more than it currently already is. Crazy, right? Yeah. Also in the news, it says this is the buy signal for Shiba Inu's explosive 30% rally. A lot of altcoins are pumping, I think, just in general. A lot of Ethereum-based coins are pumping. A lot of these coins already had momentum before. You might remember, weeks and weeks ago, we were already talking about whenever Bitcoin moved up by 1%, a lot of these coins were going up by 8% the exact same day. Ethereum moved up by 2.2%. We had 16% gains across certain coins on any given individual day. A lot of these coins, a lot of the people behind these coins, a lot of people who are trading these coins, buying these coins, have been waiting for a pump for a while now. There was no real indication, once again, the idea being, if Bitcoin falls, everything else falls. And this is usually a really weird thing because if a coin has tons of momentum and strength and energy behind it, why should that coin fall because Bitcoin falls? I get I've been here long enough. I get why it actually happens, but a lot of people who are into these projects have been buying for a while. So now I think we're just seeing the reflection of what they've been doing and what they've been buying actually finally coming into play. And also, to be completely shocked by this news, it says Ethereum Whale accumulation grows as Ethereum's price rises 40% in a week. Yes. We now have, at least now, a slight indication that apparently mid-September, so the internet saith, that Ethereum will be upgrading to the merge, to 2.0, whatever people are calling it these days. The only way in the future, I know I've said it before, but I need people to get it because I know there's 5 people out there who aren't listening who in about 2.5 years are going to be like, oh, I get it now. The only way to create Ether after this happens is by already having Ether. That's the only way. So we are seeing and have been seeing for a while, especially as prices were dropping, an immense amount of accumulation for Ether. Because the only way in the future to create this coin, that every other coin is being built on top of its blockchain right now, is by already having some. This is probably going to be, more than likely, one of the main de facto ways of making passive income in the cryptocurrency space. We had indications before. This is sometime 2 months ago. Grain of salt. I'm literally, you can't see, I'm like rubbing two fingers together as I hand you an imaginary grain of salt. The news that we got a couple of months ago from one of the Ethereum developers was that they believe, or said that, when the upgrade actually happens, they're expecting the upgrade, and not the what's the word? Not the profit margins. How much money you get from staking. Can't remember the exact word. I think it's currently around 5 to 7% or something like that. They said they expect it to actually maybe double over the next couple of years, depending on the actual network usage. If we get to any point where Ethereum is giving people a steady 7 to 10% every single month on their money, or year, what have you, so on and so forth, it is going to become the #1 passive income source within the cryptocurrency space. So just letting you know why we're seeing this action. And it's crazy that all it took was for these people to finally announce that they had an upgrade, have a date. It was going to happen because we've all been waiting for so long. Do you see, like, do you understand that much of the market's movement in our space has happened because these people literally just wrote on Twitter, 19th of September? Imagine what happens when we actually have the upgrade. So yeah, that's the price news. Prices are in green. Their 7-day charts look absolutely wild. We are, of course, going to go over them as well. It's nice to see the market in green. Once again, still not holding my breath. I'm waiting for $27,000, $28,000 Bitcoin. I saw that number floating around a couple of places from analysts who said that if we reach those numbers per Bitcoin, we are officially out of the woods. We are at a point where Bitcoin's bullish trend has completely returned, and we are going to start seeing some fantastic numbers. Hands in the air. I think these price movements up are absolutely incredible. I think this should have been happening for a couple of months now, what have you. However, $27,000, $28,000 Bitcoin, my mega bullishness will return. I'm still buying coins every single day. Like, I don't stop buying. I don't care if the prices are low or high. I believe where this market is going to be in the next 10 to 15 years. So why not stack while prices are low? Yeah, that's all the price news. And without further ado, let's move on. In one of the most popular news stories of the day, according to the two U.S. senators, Cynthia Lummis and Kirsten Gillibrand, the significant bipartisan crypto measure would likely be postponed until next year. So earlier this year, we had news that Cynthia Lummis and Kirsten Gillibrand had co-written, used ink on a piece of paper to basically come up with rules for the cryptocurrency space, but in a way that would be friendly or effective to regulators, as opposed to just saying, we'll regulate our own space. They try to be nice in their regulatory actual words. The senators said there is a remote possibility that the full law would be passed by the Senate this year. When speaking at Bloomberg's Crypto Summit on the 19th of July, Lummis noted that Kirsten and I both agree that the measure is more likely to be postponed until next year if it is passed in its entirety. Many U.S. senators are still learning about this broad, in-depth topic, so there is much for them to process in the few weeks this year. And the U.S. SEC, of course, had a bit of an issue with the bill because they wanted more power. I think the bill gave the SEC some authority, but gave the CFTC far more, as they seem to be a lot more crypto-friendly than the, I was going to say words, as opposed to the SEC, who has been quite special in their approach to the cryptocurrency space. So I didn't think this bill was going to get passed at all. I saw nothing that showed that there would be any indications that this law would actually be pushed through. I think it's like a 600-page law. Like, I think it's actually 600 pages. But just not looking through it, but having read what other people were saying about it, it was a little bit too lenient on the space and didn't give a lot of way for regulators to really be able to push their way through So if it ends up passing, fantastic. That'd be great to have some type of proper regulations within America. But I don't think regulators are going to allow this through because they're all power hungry. And I don't see how that fits in with their mantra from the last 100 years. But the news that we will not hear about this, or may likely not happen until sometime next year, was extremely popular. And I was like, cool. I didn't expect it to happen at all. So I guess let's wait for next year. That's the Loomis Gillibrand crypto bill news. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Also, like, this is actually big news. French banking giant BNP Paribas, with $13 trillion in assets under custody, could be interested in developing crypto custody services for its own clients, a new report has stated. BNP Paribas is getting into crypto. The French bank is reportedly planning or partnering with Metaco to potentially offer crypto custody services to its own clients, making it the latest institutional powerhouse to start dipping its toes into the cryptocurrency space. Backing it up, that's a lie. They are not dipping their toes. Anytime you hear that a bank, a hedge fund, an institution, a company is looking to get into crypto or begin to offer it to their clients, they've already been there for a number of years. I would even go so far as to say, on a logical basis, BNP Paribas probably owns an enormous amount of Bitcoin, Ether, and many other cryptocurrencies. Just because we have not, like, we don't hear everything that happens in their board meetings. Ever. We will not hear about 99.9% of the things that actually happen there. So it's safe to assume that, as they are one of the largest banks on the planet, they probably already own crypto. Because once again, you do not offer something to a client that you yourself do not already own. You make sure you have exposure to said asset, just in case Bitcoin does a 10x over the next 10 years. You offered it to them, they got richer, you as the bank did not. That is a banking no-no. That's just how money works. Metaco is a Swiss company specializing in digital asset custody for institutional clients. It also provides crypto trading and decentralized finance onboarding services. Other prominent banks such as Societe Generale and Citigroup have recently come to Metaco for crypto custody deals, so it is all but assured that BNP is going to be doing the exact same thing. The news is that allegedly someone has come forward and said, hey, we may be looking to get into this. For those of you who have not been with the channel for a while, 2014 was a very significant year. We found out, us, in 2018 and 2019, that many banks, companies, and hedge funds, and allegedly even governments, had actually been buying up portions of Bitcoin since around 2014. This was significant because starting around 2014 until 2018, a number of these companies, banks, institutions, what have you, were nothing but bad-mouthing the cryptocurrency space. You must remember, some of you, the news that we were getting almost daily of these billionaires and these hedge fund managers going, I think Bitcoin's going to change the world. I'm seeing Bitcoin going to $10 million. And you zoom back out and you go 3 years ago, you told everyone not to buy Bitcoin. Why are you telling everyone now? Because these people have been buying for a number of years. It even says the banks are coming. No, the banks are already here. The banks know exactly what's going on. The banks look at the numbers, and they have been looking at the numbers for a while. You don't get into anything as a bank unless you see the long-term prospectus for the actual thing that you're trying to get into. They're not trying to offer this to their clients or buy cryptocurrencies themselves because they're trying to make a one-year profit. It is likely at this point, extremely likely, that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. They are basically part of our new system. It's just a question of how much. How intertwined are they actually behind the scenes, especially when we keep getting news that banks are trying to get into the space to custody, buy, hold, and sell them. Did you forget about all the European banks and all the German banks? A year or two ago, hundreds of them who were trying to get paperwork through so that they could actually custody cryptocurrencies. Did you forget about the individual states in the United States that have passed laws so that their banks can actually hold, buy, and sell crypto. Remember the 300 banks at the beginning of the year who also applied in the United States to be able to? The banks are already here. They're trying to buy up as much as they possibly can, but in silence. You as a bank cannot explicitly announce this out loud until you have secured your position. If cryptocurrencies make it, if Bitcoin goes up to $10 million, this is like untold ridiculous levels of wealth that these people already have. These people will basically be kings of the planet in their own right and in their own jurisdiction. Should all of this actually come to fruition. Yeah, so the news is one of the largest banks on the planet is allegedly, nobody knows, wink, trying to get into the cryptocurrency space as far as custody. And this is also something I'm going to move on from here. This is also very important. This is something from 2018, 2019. Remember, a lot of banks and Coinbase and other institutions were just offering stuff to institutional clients. The idea is you offer it to the rich first, and then you let it trickle down to the normies so that they get the remaining crumbs of Satoshis. And this is what I think that is so important about the cryptocurrency space. In every other aspect of life, real estate, gold, property, equities, securities, you name it, rich people buy up everything and then they tell everyone else about it. Like you see them on financial news places. Yeah, we recently bought around $250 million worth of the stock. We think it's going to rise. That in itself, other people hear this news and that also causes it to rise because people go, they bought $250 million. I have to now buy, but you've bought after them. People in the crypto space are in this very interesting position where prices are still low, not financial advice, and you see these people, you see them. They're buying every single day. And you have the opportunity to buy before things go completely insane. How many people do you know are going to lose their minds and text you and call you and scream at you? Why didn't you tell me when prices were so low, when Bitcoin hits $100,000, $100,000? When Ethereum goes to 10K, how many people are going to be shocked and go, dude, I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me about that? We are currently in this very good position where we can buy as they buy. We may not be able to buy as much as they are buying, but it's currently, what is it? $240 to buy 1 million Satoshis. It's not 2,400. It's not 25,000. When we get to a point where it's $25,000 to buy 1 million Satoshis, you're going to be thanking your past self for having actually, Anyway, that's the banking news because they're always there. They're always there. And yeah, let's move on. Now, here's a really weird one. Every larger individual in the cryptocurrency space who is famous for just basically nothing more than being rich and choosing their side in the crypto space. Either you love Ethereum or you love Bitcoin or you love Cardano. I don't know what's going on, but everyone is like rambling all the time and screaming at each other in the space now. It's Mike Novogratz, it's Raoul Pal, it's Vitalik Buterin, it's the guy who made Cardano, Hoskinson, and like 2 other people. I mean, like, they're just kind of screaming at each other on social media, and I don't really understand why. You're all insanely rich. Just go sit on an island somewhere. However, one of the most popular news stories of the day, I wish I was actually joking. Mike Novogratz thinks that the recent crypto chaos, from the Terra blockchain and Luna token crash, to the bankruptcies of Celsius and Voyager, to Three Arrows Capital's missteps, have made the entire industry look like a bunch of idiotas. In an interview with Bloomberg, the Galaxy Digital CEO said on Tuesday that he doesn't want to say, "I told you so," but believes Luna's collapse was almost actually very transparent and started a daisy chain of events. I've never heard that. A daisy chain? I've never heard that in my entire life. That led to the downfall of other players in the crypto industry. And then a lot of people are pointing out that so basically he went online talking about how insane or ridiculous everybody is and how they shouldn't be doing so and so. But then now people are pointing out that he apparently has a tattoo of Terra Luna, which can only lead me to believe that he allegedly was probably a supporter. I don't think anybody would get a tattoo that says Luna. It says, "I'm officially a lunatic. Thanks, Stable Kwan, and thank you to my friends at Smith Street." So I don't really know what to say. This was actually gigantic news that he basically went on a tirade calling everyone in the cryptocurrency space idiots, and they weren't very smart and have to watch out for what they're doing because the space looks completely ridiculous. But I also didn't know that he was a Luna Terra supporter, which means that he also is. Why would you get this? Why at any point in your life would that seem like a good idea? I remember, oh my gosh, years ago, there were people who were doing this same exact thing on his arm with IOTA. There were people who were getting QR codes for Bitcoin on their back or on their leg. Or I don't explicitly myself understand, and it's mainly because, and I'll tell it to you this way, these coins are so fragile. Like, I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum will be around for a while. 40 years down the line, I can't really tell you that. So I'm not getting a Bitcoin symbol or Ethereum on my arm because Cardano might overtake them. Stellar Lumens might surpass Ethereum. Not going to happen, but you understand what I'm saying. So this was popular news, and I don't understand why all of this is happening. Does anyone know why all these people are fighting amongst themselves? Is something I don't, and I think the easiest way would just be to say fear. I don't know exactly what it is as far as because Ethereum 2.0 is now actually happening or going to be happening allegedly. A lot of the people who claimed years ago that it wouldn't go anywhere, wouldn't be doing anything, they're kind of like rah, 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 like fighting each other all the time. But Novogratz believes in Ethereum, so who is he screaming at? Why is he fighting with someone else? It's kind of like the other guy. There are multiple guys. That guy from Barstool Sports or whatever it's called, who got into Bitcoin, said he was the greatest Bitcoin trader ever, lost tons of money with Bitcoin, said he was never getting back into the space. And now he says that he's in crypto for life, and he's also arguing with the people. Who else is there? The years ago, like the only battles that we really had were between Bitcoin maximalists and everyone else, and Peter Schiff, the guy who's really into gold and silver. Can we go back to the old days where stuff just kind of made sense in the market? Because this is getting a bit weird. This was very popular news. Mike Novogratz apparently thinks that everyone has completely lost their minds. And I mean, but the tattoo though. Really? You thought Terra Luna? I mean, to be fair, I saw so much about Terra Luna for a long time. There were people who were talking about that each, not the stable coin, but the normal coin was going to go up to like $1,000 a piece. And I was like, sure, why not? Those numbers make sense. Anyway, that's the popular Mike Novogratz news because that's just where we are as an industry at this point. And yeah, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, GBU Wally, Empire Queen, and let's move on. Blockchain Simplified, Jamie Saad, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, How's Life Austin, Boba Mode, Mad World of Crypto, Many Cryptos, Rogoman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Captain Something, and the Z Way Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cody 3D, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Bodemic Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, on Crypto with Lionel and Crayola Michelle URL. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, who left a like, who left a comment, or who has subscribed at the moment. Bitcoin is currently up by 7.6% in the last 24 hours. It is up by 19% in the last week. That is crazy. Ethereum is up by 44% in the last week as well. Binance Coin is up by 18%. XRP is up by 17. Cardano is up by 24 percentile points. Solana is up by 32%. Dogecoin is up by 23. Polkadot is up by 23. Polygon is up by 67%. Wow. Avalanche is up by 45%. Shiba Inu is up by 25. Uniswap is up by 33. Litecoin is up by 20. FTX is up by 20. Chainlink is up by 22. Kronos is up by 22. Ethereum Classic is up by 76%. Boy, howdy. Cosmos is up by 30. Algorand is up by 22. Flow is up by 37. ApeCoin, jeez, I should have bought more. ApeCoin is up by 41% in the last week. I managed to get some more when it was around like $4.20 or something like that. I'm still going to get more. I have a very strange feeling about the coin, I'm telling you. It hit 25 before, 26 before. I think it can easily go to 50. I think 100 is all but a given over the course of a 2 to 3 year period if the project continues to build itself up. I gotta get more. Just a matter of, you know, spending money. Decentraland is up by 23%. Sandbox is up by 28 as well. Look at those numbers. Hedera is up by 25. Filecoin is up by 16. Axie Infinity is up by 31. Aave is up by 35%. These numbers are spectacular. And Zcash is up by nearly 24% as well. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely incredible. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.